Hello, Mount Esk. This is Samantha Kendrick concerning Pamela Kendrick, 11th of the 4th, 39. With the Mount Esk videos, I got a thing from YouTube saying that it was litigious. It actually wasn't litigious. All I have to do is put the video on another platform, and so when you Google, it's still going to come up as Mount Esk. What I actually did was put a statement in there, because the law states that if you're told something, you must pass it on. And what you did was you did the Catholic thing. You went, no boy buggery here. We're not going to do anything about this. And whether you like it or not, Nicole Raj went into such a fury that she went into my mother's room and then had a go at her, told her to tell me not to complain. That is absolutely atrocious. That is bullying. That is altering the law. It's the bullying. And then told Mum that she didn't have a doctor for 6 weeks. Dr. Jenny Davidson, but now I've been told it's Peterson. I don't know. Whatever her name is, I don't know. She didn't contact me for all those years, even though I left countless messages. All I wanted was to know what was going on with my mum. That was it. There was no ulterior motive. You know, the simple fact is you're going to have to start claiming the behaviour. If there was nothing to complain about, there wouldn't be tapes, there wouldn't be investigations, would there? What you've got going on there is serious neglect. Also, the video communication, the whole world has been in lockdown and everybody does video communication. When my mother first went into hospital, one nurse said, look, Facebook me. You can use my Facebook. Because the nurse knew all I wanted to do was find out how Mum was. Your paranoia has led you to believe that I'm on the phone to my mum instigating the next attack. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. This is ridiculous. That's paranoia of the guilty. I can't check my mother's body for sores, can I? I can't check my mum's face for sores. In month 8, it wasn't a year, it was month 8, but still 8 months, really a week. Anything after a week, that is neglect. After 8 months, I got one phone call. It was monitored and it was a death scene. My mother looked so ill. And then I realised that's why Mount Esk never commented on my mother's health. Whereas when my nana was in England, we used to ring. They used to ask us how we were. We'd ask how Nana was, and Mum even sent them little things. I was going to send you little things, but obviously not. My mother has a worn-out vertebrae. She is not bedridden. You've made her bedridden. There isn't an operation. They basically anaesthetize the area and then they replace. It's done so much now. It's kind of like a factory procedure. And you've got her bedridden. I also didn't like the fact when my mother was booked in at Christmas, when I rang, the priority of Mount Esk Nursing Home was to warn Launceston Hospital that the big bad daughter was coming. And you got them so anxious and so nervous that the nurse put the phone to my mum, and of course I couldn't hear her. Well, that was my holiday, Jesus, and that was my mum's holiday. You're not getting it. You put me in extreme fear when you cut the phone off, when it takes me 10 minutes to get through to my mum. It makes me wonder what you're doing to her. Do you understand all this? You all need to calm down, and you all need to say, you know what, that we have been neglecting. You know what, there is abuse. And you know what, this woman is going to cause us trouble. Of course I'm going to cause you trouble. You've got the most important thing to me in the whole wide world, and you've made her bedridden. You won't put on her hearing aid. Why don't you give her the hearing aid, put it in her pocket, so when anyone rings, she can put it on herself? When, after Nicole Raj stormed in and complained that I had complained, you have to remember that you know what Nicole did was, it was inconceivable, but it was inconceivable that it took me 8 months to get a video call, and it was monitored, and it was for minutes. Nicole really thought she was being extremely generous, and Nicole thought that was it. And when I said, no, it's got to be done again, well, the next time was just a disaster. It had all the carers, and at one time, one carer shouted out, "This is so and so," as though her name overrode privacy, and the fact that she was actually stalking and harassing. I have personal news, and my mother will be coming over to be part of this personal news. You are so putrid. I don't want you to know anything about my life, because it's Mum that's under the guardianship, not me. Mum should never have been under the guardianship. It was all to do with the doctor, Dr. Jenny Davidson's partner, that I had made a statement over, along with my ex, and clearly along with the victim 10 years previously. The guardianship should not have placed my mother under that doctor. The guardianship, we are not Catholic. The diet, everything. To you, you think I'm complaining. You know, I've got to, your level always comes from boy buggery. Oh, well, we're not boy buggering. Yeah, but you're letting my mother be not here, and you're letting her be bedridden when all she needed was a simple disc replacement, which you found out at Christmas. I don't like the fact that your staff are saying hug out the pain as though they're doctors. They're doing that because, of course, the doctors aren't doing anything. But instead of doing your old patterns of lay down dead, let's all get Rogered, did it occur to you to ring back up the hospital and say, she needs a disc replacement? When do we book this in? You've been used by the guardianship. They also took away Mum's communication. So I would have to contact you, so I would complain. All you had to do was contact the Jewish home and say, look, we'll send you there. That's all you had to do, and send her. You go on further than the employed people at the guardianship. You think they can't be fired. I know they can be. The thing is, it's my mum that is being treated cruelly because I complain. The Catholic boy buggery, hurting your people, it's got to stop. And it stops by you actually listening to a complaint. Nicole should not have gone into my mother's room and told her to stop me complaining. You know that. That was a bully. I knew that. I knew what she was like, but when it took me all those months to get a video call, and the fact she monitored it. No, my mother's health is the priority. You want to turn me into some spy for the government or that's your problem. Where's my mother's wheelchair? This all has to be rectified today. You have to contact the hospital today. Everything goes back up until my mother gets fixed. You need to contact the guardianship. Where's her generic iPad so she can use the phone and video? See, this really is your problem, and you're hurting my mother, and you're hurting me, and I in turn am contacting everyone. You have got files, and it's all going to come out. Undo everything. when you're talking through someone. You can't. Okay? Got to stop with the boy buggery. I mean it. My mother's 80, 83. She doesn't deserve it. No one does.